Hi everyone, this is Bill. Today I want to show you how to go about embedding a Twitter feed into a Google site. Now, at one point this was a little bit easier, and now it takes some working around based on the information that, or the way that Google has changed their Google sites. But I want to show you, and this is the traditional Google sites, not the new Google sites, but I want to show you how to go about doing this because it does take a little bit of doing, and directions might make it a little bit difficult. So to start with, the first thing we need to do is we need to make a widget that is in from our Twitter feed. So I am on my Twitter page here, and when we go to make a widget, basically what that's going to do is that's going to take all of my tweets and put them into a little box that I can then paste into and embed into my Google site. Okay, so the first thing that you have to do is when you're logged into Google, right up here in the upper right hand corner, click on your little picture and go down to where it says Settings and Privacy. And one of the options, if we go all the way down, is to find widgets. Now, I already have a widget set up. So what you would do ultimately is click on Create New, and you want to create a new profile widget. Now, what's going to happen, it's going to say, well, the Twitter URL, so that's going to be your entire Twitter address, starting with the HTTP, and we're just going to put the www in there as well. Now what that's going to do is going to ask me what I want it to look like. So I can have like the full tweet, or I can display it like more like a timeline. For our purposes right now, I'm going to choose a timeline. I'm going to click on there, and then basically I get the opportunity to customize this a little bit if I want. So here are the customization settings. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and I'm going to change this so that the height is 600 and the width is 500. Now I can change this also so that I can have it a light background or a dark background. It doesn't matter. Defaulting color, all of those things are things that I can go ahead and do. Now when I click update, it's going to give me this code. And that code I've just copied to my clipboard. And so what I'm going to do is come and create a new document just so I have stuff easily accessible for me. So when I paste that there, what you're going to see is this is now my Twitter code. Now, that's the first step. And essentially at this point, if I go back into Twitter, and go back into, just go to regular Twitter now. When I go in and look at my settings again and my widgets, what I'm going to see under this edit button, I have tweets by Bill Bass, right? I'm going to click on that edit button, and then I'm going to, these are my options. Now, the biggest thing right here, go ahead and make sure that it says exclude replies, because otherwise you're going to have a bunch of stuff that comes out. But otherwise, these are the exact same options that you had before. So right here, this is what it's going to essentially look like when I put it on my page. Now, that being said, the next piece that I want to do is I want to go get a tool called Drive Notepad, and this is a Chrome extension. It's actually an application. And here's the thing: when you are looking at this extension or this app, this basically does the same thing that Notepad would do on your computer, but it does it inside of Google Chrome and Google Drive. So if that's of interest to you, you can do that. If you want to use just Notepad on the computer, you can do that as well. I, however, and I'll put the link in this video, you can see it right down there, but Drive Notepad, I'm going to add this to Chrome. And when it does, it's going to ask me to add that app, and it's going to go through the whole process of installing. And what this does is it makes a Drive Notepad on my computer, and now this is connected to my Google account. Now the first thing I have to do after I open it up is click on Authorize. And what that's going to do is it's going to ask me if it's okay. So I'm now logged in, and in my Google Drive, I'm going to create a Notepad app. Now, I already have this put together, and I have it for you, and you're going to see that the code is right here as well. But the easiest thing to do is when you open up the file that is linked down below there, your best bet is to just copy this content So I'm just going to copy, and I'm going to go over to that Drive notepad. I'll paste in here, and you have to use the keyboard shortcut, which is Control-V to paste. And see right here where it says replace with code from Twitter? That's where I want to put that code that I just got from Twitter. So I come back here, grab this code that is right here, and paste that in there. Now at this point, I'm essentially done. Okay? I'm going to click on this top button here. I'm going to name this Twitter feed. Okay? And then I'm going to click Save. Now what that's doing is that created a new file inside of my Google Drive. So if I go back to my Google Drive, here is that untitled text, now called twitterfeed.txt. That's the file that I need. So I'm essentially done with this. I have all the Twitter code right in here. I have all this other stuff. I'm good. I can actually move on now and go into my drive. If you click on recent, it's going to show those recent files. You should see twitterfeed.txt right there. And I want to download this onto my computer. So right click, click on download, and it's going to actually download onto my computer. Now, we're going to upload this to whatever the Google site is that you want it on. So I have this, here is my list of all my Google sites, and I'm just going to go into this one called Hosted Documents. And when I open that, what I want to do is I want to upload that twitterfeed.txt file to the attachments here. So in order to do that, click on the settings wheel, the gear wheel up in the upper right hand corner, and go down to Manage Site. Once you're on Manage Site, click over here on the left where it says Attachments, and then what you want to do is upload an attachment. Now that attachment for me is just on my desktop. So wherever you put that attachment, that's where you need to go and find it. So I'm going to click Twitter feed, click Open, and it's going to upload it into my document, my site. Okay? Now, my next step is to right-click right here where it says Download. Right-click and click on Copy Link Address. Now what that's going to do is it's going to, this Twitter feed text.txt file has code in it now. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to point back to that code. Now, let's go back to our main page of our document. I'm going to edit this page, and right underneath here, under this graphic, I'm going to, that's where I want my Twitter feed to show up. So wherever you want your Twitter feed, this is where you put this, this widget. Now in order to do that, click on Insert, click on More Gadgets, and what you want to do is add a gadget by URL. Right in here, delete the HTTP, and paste in your full URL of that TXT file that you just put in. And when I click Add, it's going to give me some options. I'm going to go ahead and do 500 pixels by 600 pixels again. You can put a title however you want it, Twitter by Bill, and then click OK. I get the little box for my gadget. I'm going to click on Save, and as soon as this loads up, it's going to embed my tweets into that page. Now, if you want to go in and you want to change some of the information, so for instance, if you wanted to change the size of that because this is too big, you go in and you just mess with those numbers until you decide that it looks right. So I hope that's helpful. It is a multi-step process. There's a lot that you have to do, but ultimately, this is going to get you there.